Christopher Teleferro, Mr. Teleferro TV. I want to make this clear to you guys. This Carmelo Anthony trade rumor situation, it's brought light to something. By the way, the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks are in preliminary talks for the Celtics to acquire Carmelo Anthony. It's going to probably be Jay Crowder, some picks, and some other things in the trade. Remember, Boston can sweeten a deal for Carmelo, not with players per se. Maybe you give up an Avery Bradley, maybe. But what the Celtics have at their disposal is, remember, they control Brooklyn's picks for the next couple of years. So that's always a sweetener. You know the Brooklyn Nets are going to have one of the top 2 worst picks in the draft. They suck. All right? Or best picks in the draft because they suck. They're going to have top 2 worst records pretty much essentially for the next 4 or 5 years. They suck. Shout out to Brooklyn, though. With that being said, let's talk LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony. You see, here's the thing. Right now, everybody's pissed. LeBron James is pissed at Cavs and the organization. He said we need a playmaker. I'm pretty sure everybody on my, shout out to Mr. Teleferro TV, make sure you tuning in March 1st. We out here, new website, MrT.com. Everybody that follows my channel and everything would consider Carmelo Anthony, you follow the NBA just in general, you would know Carmelo Anthony he's a playmaker, right? We would consider him a playmaker. If nothing else, a playmaker. LeBron James just came out and said, look, we need a playmaker. Now, what we know LeBron James means is a point guard. He wants a backup point guard, so when he comes out of the game, he doesn't have that much weight on him when he comes back in. Well, if you really want the playmaker, why not go for the kill? LeBron James has always been somebody that's always went for the kill. If you want a playmaker, Carmelo Anthony is out there, and you know it. You know what Carmelo is going through with Phil Jackson, y'all friends. You know what you've had your differences with Phil Jackson this season. You know how bad Carmelo deep down wants to get out of New York, and if you don't know that, you know how bad New York wants Carmelo Anthony out. The only thing that's stopping it is this damn no trade clause that Melo has. He would have been gone, my belief. So the Knicks are actively shopping Carmelo. The Knicks can deny it. Phil Jackson can deny it. Melo can deny it. The Knicks are shopping Carmelo Anthony. I'm telling you that. You got that out your kid's mouth. I'm telling you that. I'm telling you that from my sources. The Knicks are shopping Carmelo Anthony. They tried shopping him to Cleveland, and now they shopped him to Boston because, again, they're trying to find teams that Carmelo Anthony would go to. Because Carmelo Anthony has a no-trade clause. For him to waive it, it's got to be something that him and his wife, Lala, can agree on. And they ain't just going anywhere. I don't know if Boston would satisfy that. And if you look at the post-game conferences, you can tell Carmelo Anthony is starting to figure it out. These are not just media members gassing stuff up, which what it was for a while. This is really going to happen. This is really what the Knicks want. They want to get rid of Carmelo Anthony. Phil Jackson, from what I've been told, has never been a fan of Carmelo Anthony's game. A ball stopper, and he's probably right about that. Phil Jackson, somebody who believes in ball movement. He believes in the triangle offense. You get that. We understand that. Melo doesn't believe in anything but his shot. With that being said, if ever an opportunity, when you see both sides in disagreement, if ever were an opportunity for LeBron James to pull the trigger, because he's like a GM. Let's just be honest, guys. He's like a GM. If ever were an opportunity for the Cavs to make the trade, if LeBron James would have just simply said make the trade, Carmelo Anthony for Kevin Love straight up, no strings attached, no picks, no nothing. Y'all want Melo? We want Love. This was the time to do it. It could have been made. Kevin Love and LeBron have had a rocky relationship. Even though Kevin Love is playing incredible basketball this season for the most part. He's been injured a couple games. Him and LeBron have had their differences since they've been together. Honestly, it's centered around Kevin Love believing he should get the ball more. If ever were a time to make this trade, it is now. Period. It is now. But you know what kicked in? You see LeBron and can talk about how him and Melo are great friends all he wants. He doesn't want to play with Carmelo Anthony, guys. LeBron does not want to play with Carmelo Anthony. See, y'all be saying I'm crazy. I told y'all that Carmelo Anthony wasn't a top 15, top 20 player. And I meant that. I really meant that. Right now, the Knicks are nowhere close to the playoffs. If the season ended today, they would be on the outside looking in of a weaker Eastern Conference. And, I mean, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Carmelo Anthony isn't the answer for the Knicks. They need to rebuild around Kristaps Porzingis. With that being said, the Knicks are not going to make the playoffs. They're 11th in the Eastern Conference right now, and Philly's on their behind. Philly's closing in. Last 10 games, they're 3-7. And the thing that we're stuck with is really, this is all jokes aside, LeBron could really make this trade happen. He doesn't want to make the trade happen. He doesn't want to play with Carmelo Anthony. The deal's right there in front of him. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. And this goes back to what I've been saying. Like, Carmelo Anthony is a great offensive weapon, but he's not a playmaker. He's not a top 15 player. He's not a top 10 guy. He's not a top 15. We can really have a debate if he's top 20. Maybe in my eyes. I don't know. He's just not a guy you could build around. A second guy on a really good first. Maybe a third option on the team. And LeBron looked at that situation, and he knew that Kevin Love for Carmelo Anthony made no sense. I'd keep Kyrie, I'd keep Kevin, and we will work this thing out, even if the Cavs don't give us the weapon that we deserve. Carmelo Anthony ain't the answer. Oh, but he's a top 10 player. They're supposed to play. They want to play together. He's a top 10 guy. He don't want to play with him. Cut it out. None of these guys do. If Isaiah Thomas really wanted Carmelo, he can pull that trigger right now. He can go tell management, look, let's go do it. Let's get rid of Avery Bradley, Crowder, and a couple picks. We have Melo in a day. He looked up at that. Isaiah looked at them standings. We 27-18 through 45 games. 3.5 out of the top spot. We only a half game behind Toronto for second in the Eastern Conference. 3.5 games behind Cleveland. We'll take our shot with what we got. We cool on Melo. And I believe Melo would actually be an upgrade for them in some aspects. But players don't want to play with people that they deem not to take the game as serious as they do, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Comment responses below. Y'all always know I'm open for that conversation in my comment box. Thank y'all for the time, love, and support. I don't take it for granted. Salute. I'm out. If you're looking to book me for an interview video or by phone, if you're looking to have your music or your skill featured on my daily podcast, if you're looking to book me for a speaking engagement to help motivate some kids, if you're looking to have me rock some of your clothing to help promote your brand, make sure you hit me up at booking@ismrteleferro.com. Again, that's booking@ismrteleferro.com.